All right, everybody. Lord bless you today. Thank you for joining me. This is the Lion Scalping Method Room, and happy to have you with me. Hey, if you haven't visited my store yet, store.spgtradingcorp.com, and I'm one of the few vendors to offer 100% satisfaction guarantee on a lifetime license purchase of any of my Lion Method indicators. So feel free to buy it. The terms are simple. You just use it for 12 months, and after 12 months, if you're not completely 100% certainly satisfied, you can just request a refund and we'll give you 100% money back. So I'm happy to offer that because Lion Method works and it has been a dynamic tool for me and others. So I wish you all the best. Visit me again, leave a comment, like and subscribe to this video. Love to have you along the ride with me. All right, God bless you all. Let's hold on for a moment. I'm in the middle of a gold trade here. I'm already taken 2 contracts off for profit. Now this is based on a Lion Method trend trade. And there's 2 trades involved. There is a reversion trade and there is a trend trade. But we focus mainly on reversion trades. Again, I'll explain it all in a few minutes. Let's see if this gold trade hits target. It's just flirting with it here. Hopefully we can hit it. I might just close it out otherwise, but well, let me see. I'm not actually. There we go. I want to have you look at the trade. Yeah, so this is the trend trade I took just a few minutes ago. Took 2 contracts off early in the move at 2 of the levels, and then I'm holding for a touch of the 3rd. All right, well, I'm going to keep it on here. We'll see if we hit this level. We did hit this extension line. Very tempting to move it here. I'm holding for the other extension. You can see that magenta or pink level right there. Let's see if we can push just a little higher and fill up that target order and be happy with another win. Let's move it to that high, folks. We're not going to be greedy. All right. Well, you know what? Sometimes we get a double top. Delta is turning negative, so we might not hit that level. Let's reduce it even more, see if we catch that level again. One more push up. Again, I've already locked in profit on this trade. Thank you for joining me again, folks. God bless you. I just wish all the good things in the world for you. Appreciate you joining me here. If you're a trader, if you're interested in trading, I salute you. You are like one of the 1%ers of people who want to tackle the world. It's a challenge, and it's not for everybody. And I admire you. You are a bold and courageous person. And this industry is an awesome, awesome industry. Unlocking profit, really, there's no limit to what you can achieve in trading. It is a challenge. It will test your emotions. It'll test your resolve. It'll test your commitment, like this trade is right here. But it does certainly make you push you to new levels, let's just say. I have started trading. I first got interested way back in 1991. Yes, 1991. I just got out of college and I was wondering, what is the next thing I want to do with my life? I was sitting in a cubicle in my engineering job, wondering, oh my gosh, what did I do? I spent 4 years of college to get here to sit in a cubicle. So I started looking for a new way to break out of, do something different, break out of the mold. And I actually got into trading. Now, back then we didn't have the internet, so I actually found a mail order course. Yes, mail order course for trading, and it was a guy by the name of Ken Roberts who taught a simple entry technique called the 1-2-3 tops and 1-2-3 bottoms. And it's still in place today. It's a timeless technique. And remember back then we were trading crude oil because of the first Gulf War was upon us, and crude oil shot up to new highs. So it was an amazing time. But basically what he did back then is he looked for 52-week lows or highs. So if your market was hitting the year-long lows or highs, now back then it was all trading on day bars. We weren't minute by minute trading. So we were looking for markets that had just recently hit their 52-week high or 52-week low, and you look for this reversal pattern called a 1-2-3 top or bottom. And I remember learning that technique, and it's timeless, and it does work even today. Markets have continued to behave in these ways. Reversing momentum in that situation looks for a 1-2-3 top and bottom pattern. Momentum changes and always has changed in the same way. Now, usually, sometimes you will get a streak where the momentum just completely reverses and doesn't do a 1-2-3 top and bottom, but when it does, it's a pattern that works. Now, it doesn't work all the time, of course. No pattern does. Sometimes momentum does push beyond that number 1 point or number 3 point, wherever you put your stop, but I remember learning that from Ken Roberts. So thank you, Ken, for introducing me to futures. And it is a wonderful industry. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can get a little higher on this move. I am going to move my stop up, guys. I'm going to move it right to that low. We don't want to go below that low again. Again, we already did well in this trade. We're just looking for a little bit of icing on the cake. So share with me in the comments. Feel free to let me know how you got started in the trading business. Put a little post here. Right, Delta is going positive here, so I have hope that this trade will come around. And if not, that's fine. That's what the markets do. They hit our stop. We are locked into profit, and that's the important thing. Again, this is a trend trade. Not so excited about trend trades, although this one definitely has paid off. Looks like it might hit our stop, guys. That's all right. Came so close though, didn't we? We did hit our first target level, but I was a little greedy and I went up to the second one and just never reached it. Net delta is turning downward. So net delta is this bottom indicator here. We call it the lion claw. And it's basically it measures buyer aggression or seller aggression. It tells you if people are willing to chase higher prices or if they're willing to only chase lower prices. And so we use that as a little gauge of interest in the market. Right now, it's a little bit downward, so meaning sellers are pushing the price downward. They're willing to sell at lower prices, so that's a risky move for sellers, and that means that that there's more energy and more power in selling. They're looking at selling lower, even though with the expectation of lower prices to come. So let's see if we get stopped out here. It happens, folks. It happens. But again, we were locked in on profits throughout the trade, and that's a good thing. Had I looked at it, I didn't notice, but first peak, we see a good amount of buying. So this is all net delta positive, so the buyers are really pushing higher, but they gave up right at that level, and buyers weren't coming in here. So we see there was some buying right at that bar. However, there's a net delta negative. These white dashes are the net delta for each bar. And it really petered out. Certainly, this was some high levels here. So we had a divergence. We had declining net delta, and we had prices that just did a double top. So this is a classic double top pattern. Should have got out there, guys. Now the histogram here it's a histogram, a difference between a moving average and the actual cumulative net delta. So what we do is we accumulate, every bar has a positive or negative net delta, right? So we accumulate that from the beginning of the chart and we add positives and we subtract negatives, So it's accumulation. And then you don't see that here. You don't actually see that cumulative line. But it is there, and then we put a moving average on that accumulation. And this histogram is showing us how far we are away from that average. So when it's up above the zero level, that means that the cumulative net delta is above its average. And when it's below zero, that shows the cumulative net delta has dropped below its average. That's what that histogram is based on. Okay, so here we go. Missed a beautiful trade. Look at this. Just touched our overbought, oversold levels. So let me explain, since we have some time here before it's coming up at 9 o'clock. The lion channel method is based on two indicators. First one is Leto channels. Yeah, Leto channels. Named it after myself because I did invent it. Look out, John Bollinger, I'm coming after you. This is Bollinger Bands Improved 2.0 because it uses statistical data in the past to predict what the volatility and what the move is going to be. So these bands are not reactive to price. They are established 24 hours in advance, and they tell us how far price usually gets away from the 100 moving average, 100 period MA, which is this yellow line here. So if the yellow line, if price is usually, price is usually between the upper band and the lower band. That's where price usually just, oscillates. Only 10% of the time does price get into the band region. Only 10% of the time does it either hit this low area or 10% of the time does it hit the high area in the recent past. And the top of the region shows the max distance this price has moved in the last 7 days, I think, against that 100 period moving average. So here we see a big, in the past 7 days, actually one time price got all the way down here in relation to the 100 moving average. So only one time had it gotten this high against the 100 period moving average. So it has its limits. We know that historically where the limits were. So we're looking for that as scientific analysis of overbought, oversold. Here we go. Here we go. At this time, right about 7 o'clock, we went into the lower bands. So once we enter the lower bands, we start printing yellow dots, just as a visual indication that we're actually in the oversold level. And we look for a breakout of that oversold level. And very simple swing indicator that we use, a swing technique. You've identified swing levels in NinjaTrader. And that blue dot is one of those swing levels. And we're looking for when price hits that blue dot. And that happened right here, right at that bar. That's when we would go long, we'd buy, and we would put a stop down here at the bottom of this blue line. And that would put a stop right at that level. The stop never was hit. And we're just targeting this red line. The red line, I might have gotten hit here, but it certainly got hit here. So we did hit profit target on that order right there. You could also have gone long again and targeted there, and certainly that profit target was hit. Now another profit target besides these red levels is the 100 period moving average. So that's something that we would target as well. The 100 period is just it can provide some support resistance. I mean, look at this. We hit this 100 level and it reversed. We hit here and it reversed a little bit. We finally started pushing through it and then it became support and it moved up there. So those are our two targets. The red levels on a buy and then the yellow line on a buy. Now, if you're adventurous, you will take a third target, and that is the lower edge of the upper band. And look at that, we certainly would have hit that target right there. So those are the three targets we take. Scalp on this, either the red level or the 100, and then the long distance target would be the upper band. That happened so amazingly on crude the other day. Let me see if I can pull that up. This is the crude market. This one really got me. I was long here. I was long crude from getting into the oversold level. Again, yellow dots printing. I took an aggressive long. I went early, which is risky. I shouldn't have done it, guys, honestly. It turned out well. This market went roaring right up into the overbought level, and it was rejected, and it just could not break through that overbought level. Eventually it did. I put my target up here and I did hit that. And, you know, the market started trending and kept in the overbought level. But the trade was done. So look at that. It just ran right up into that overbought level and it just stopped. So that happens frequently. Again, statistically, that is where the market has stopped in the past. You can see here in the crude market, it hits that overbought level and retraces, hits the overbought, retraces, hits the overbought, retraces, hits it, retraces. Yeah, sometimes it does break through, no doubt about it. These are times of higher volatility. Leto channel shows you when they are volatile. You can see this area is a time of higher volatility. The 10% of the time it reaches this level, 100% of the time it reached that, or one trade, the max distance it reached was here. So it's a big amount of volatility. And that showed up here even. We had a good amount of volatility during that area. So it kind of gives us a really interesting picture of volatility ahead of time. Look at here for this example. So 90% of the time it doesn't reach this level, 10% of the time it does, and only one time did it go to this level. So we know overbought is right down here. The market just never got there, obviously. On the high side, above the 100, it does reach this level 10% of the time, and only one time did it reach the upper limit. So we were able to trade off of that. Some pretty good info. Another thing Ledo Channels does is it produces these little histogram bars tied to the 100 MA. So green means on average the market is above the 100 during this time of day. For some reason, there is a buying cycle in history in the last 7 days of price action that shows up, and it shows that on average price is above the 100. Well, look at that. We definitely were above the 100 during today, this day. So the history did repeat itself here. This is a red area. You can see the red histograms, meaning over the last 7 days, the market is typically at or below the 100 moving average. Well, it was above it, but look at that, it shot right down to it. So we would use this information to say there is typical market pressure downward during this time. Would you agree? Right? So on average, the market tends to be below the 100. So if we're up here, we're looking for a strong sell signal. We're looking for a stronger sell signal. That came through right here. Now, this is a short signal. We're overbought. There's a tendency for it to be downward in movement. So we would go short right here, and certainly we hit our first target, and right there we hit our second target. We didn't hit the full distance all the way down to this area, but that's okay. Not every time is it going to do that. It's all trend-based. All right. Boy, I'm already talking a lot. How do you guys put up with me? Hi, Waldo. How are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. All right. Well, look at that. Waldo, you missed it. I was in a gold trade here. I went long right there at that level. I took 2 positions out, and I was targeting right up here, and it just never hit my target. So I trailed my stop, and it did get stopped out right there. And now look, we're heading back up toward that target. That's trading, right? God bless you today, Waldo. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing good. All right, let's keep an eye out for our next trade. All right. Waldo, yes. So I've developed a system called the Lion Method. And I don't know if you watched some of my videos yet, but it's using the science of overbought, oversold analysis. And it's using good old-fashioned price action structure reversals. It's really not too complicated, I don't think, but I'd love to hear your feedback if you have any questions. Um, Here's some really good trades that happened in the MYM today. First of all, we look for it to hit these overbought, oversold regions. So this down here is oversold. This up here is overbought. So you can see we entered the regions on this move right about 7 o'clock here in the morning Eastern time. We were in the yellow dots show that we've entered the zone. So we've entered into these blocks of price, these areas. So when we're oversold, that's when we actually start looking for a trade. We're not looking for a trade until we hit overbought or oversold. So right there, we're looking for it. And we're looking for it to basically move out of oversold, right? We want to do a reversion back to the 100 moving average, which is this midline. And one thing we look for is a structure break. Now, structure is these swing points show structure. They show that prices were rejected and moved downward, right? So we look for it to break through this structure, and we target the first fib level, which is right here. So it's pretty straightforward. Oh, good. Okay. Glad you tuned in then. So we would have gone long here, targeted that level, and it did hit target. So we would have won that trade. Certainly you could have entered again if you wanted to. I typically don't. I usually look for the one that's furthest away from the 100, the first one. That would have been our target. Now the second target I would have shot for is the 100 period moving average, and that was hit right here. And if I did have a runner left after that, I target the opposite end band, which is these the overbought band. And look at that, we definitely hit that one. So this would have been a wonderful trade in the MYM this morning. One target hit, two targets hit, and a third target hit all the way. Right, yeah, they're fib levels, and they're pretty simple. I'll explain it. So the swing that I measure from is a little different than what most people measure their fib swings from, but from here to here is a distance. I don't know if it's probably, well, let's see how many ticks that is. So the distance is 25 ticks. The level, the fib level I use there is 62% of that. So 25 ticks, about 2/3 of that is 15 ticks to roughly, right? So yeah, so that's about right. So 25 ticks to 15 ticks. So 62% of 25 is roughly 15, and that's what we're shooting for. Here, for example, this is probably 40 ticks, I think. 38 ticks roughly, and 38 ticks and 26 ticks to a target. So that's the downside measurement there. And it's an automatic calculation, you can see. Now this indicator is called extension 62 lines, and that's really basically explains it all right? These are extension 62 lines based on this swing. Now, other traders might use a extension based on this swing. That's one way to do it. That's a little more aggressive to go all the way down there. So I target it based on a current swing this way. And that's where that 62 level comes in there. Yeah. Talk to me a little later about that. I am looking for people to join me and do beta testing. If you're interested, we could work out a little short-term trial or test for you since you show interest. So do me a favor, email me. Love to hear from you and maybe your story too. Share with me your story, how long you've been trading and what you do for trading and how you got involved. That's my theme today. I shared my story of getting involved with trading. It goes back a long way. I just turned 57. I started this business back when I was 22, 23. I've been around a long time. All right, right now, this was the move I missed, guys. All of this move here. I just started the channel. I think I started right around, yeah, right around this time. Beautiful trade though, beautiful setup. Cool. Let's see. So we're looking for overbought, oversold. Again, we're not going to do any silly trades. I tell you what, Waldo, I made some really boneheaded trades on Monday, and I should never have done that. And it's, you know what, it's not the Lion system. I didn't trade any system. I was doing stupid trades that were off the cuff. So um, completely 100% trader error on those. But today we're going to be smarter. We're going to use a nice system that works. We're going to use the Lion method, and we're going to find winners like we did yesterday. We found $300 worth of winners. I don't think I had a losing trade yesterday, so happy about that. Well, look at that. Gold did hit my target. My target was right up there. I trailed my stop pretty aggressively here. But look at that 100 level was just rejected, completely rejected, and that's something I look for too. So this is a trend trade, a little different than my normal reversion trades. I like reversion trade, which I explained. This trend trade was based on this dot right here. So prices were oscillating. We were coming into an area where tendency, the green histogram shows tendency for this market is positive. Tendency is upward against the 100 moving average. I went long right here. So I went and I bought that swing point. Market dove down on a good amount of delta going negative, and then that delta just reversed long. I got out with two trades right here at this fib target. I held on. I should have gotten out at this target because that was hit. But I was holding on for here, and it just didn't get it. I trailed my stop, and we stopped for a profit. So I'm happy overall on the trade. It was a winner. Yeah, I've done a couple dozen videos on this method. Check out my live channel. My lives, these are all lives. I find it fun. It makes sense to me. I'm looking for real, genuine overbought, oversold. Well, it's a little discretionary. The signal really is yellow dots and blue dot. And then we go long right when these are all in conjunction. So we have a yellow dot here, a blue dot, and price hits that blue dot. Once that happens, that's where we go long. And we target a scalp at the first fib level. We could hold on for the yellow line if you're so inclined. And then you can also hold on for the lower side of this channel line here. Now we like to buy when price is far from the 100. You don't want to buy when it's close to the 100. Like look at the, let me give you an example of that. I think gold had one. So here's an example. You don't want to buy this level because you're at the 100 when it hits it. So I don't like to buy at or near the 100, the 100 period. Even this one, well, let's see if there's a better example. So that's one thing. We don't want to, likewise, we don't want to sell when we're near the 100 either. We want some distance. We want some distance. Now you can also go a little bit more aggressive. Now here you see we do hit overbought. You see one bar right here. You could actually go short on a breakdown below this little swing point. There's no red dot there, but there is a little bit of a swing here. And this is called the 1, 2, 3 top pattern. So we have 1 is this bar here, 2 is this swing low, 3 is this swing that doesn't exceed the 1. So it exceeded. This selling at the number 2 point is what we're looking for. That structure breakdown would have gotten you to target at the 100. Again, we're far from the 100. That's what we look for. We don't want to sell close to the 100. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Here it happened in the MES. We had a good oversold area. The yellow dots are printing when we're oversold here. We look for this blue dot. We buy at the blue dot level, and we target this red line. We target the 100, and we target the opposite side. How long have you been trading? So this is a 100 moving average in the yellow line, but it is changeable. You can set it to 200 if you like. I've looked at it, and it's not a bad setup either. We could change it. Let's see how the 200 looks. Right here, the MA period. If we go to 200, cool. 5 years of trading. That's awesome, man. God bless you. Always good to hear somebody who's in the battle with you. So here's a 200 period MA, a little smoother. I like it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's valid. So you want something long term, 100, 200. I think I had it on 50 and it's just too whippy. It's not significant enough. So that's why I went to the 100. But 200 is good. This is a beautiful setup right here. Beautiful. Right, so we hit overbought. Just tickled the overbought level. That was a fib extension level too from this dot. Very, very interesting. So again, we could have shorted here. However, the valid swing dot was here. We would have gone short there. Our stop is where this swing is. So our stop would have been up here. That's the other thing too. We do put stops in. So stop up here, enter short right at that bar when it hit that level. And then we target right there. And then we're out. Second target is the 100. Third target, if you're bold and you have a runner, I might have targeted like this level. That would have been good. If you're more courageous, certainly you can go all the way down to right here is where you would have gotten out. That would have been a big trade. Let's go back to the 100 on this so I have some regular consistency. So on the MES, we're looking for it to hit overbought, oversold. We're in the middle of no man's land. So from this area up to this area is just back and forth chop. There's nothing here. Yeah, I mean, this could be a trend trade. We're coming into an area where typically the market likes to move upward a time because we're coming up on the open. Lately, the open has been positive for the MES. So yeah, this could be a trend trade. It rejected the 100. We would target this level. Let's do that. Let's put a buy. I'm just going to buy one. I'm going to buy right about there, and I'll target this level if we do get filled. Trend trades aren't my favorite trades. I find them a little bit less reliable because it's whippy. This area is very back and forth. What we want is something where we hit extreme levels of overbought, oversold, where the market reverses. That's where the edge is. And this trade might not come back and fill us, but we'll see. Yeah, I prefer that. buying when it's oversold, or selling when it's overbought. Like here, we had a strong move upward, 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 upward. We hit this overbought level, and look, it just hit it like a brick wall and reversed off of that and went down. All right, well, we might get filled here. The MES is curling a little bit. I usually go much lighter in contract counts on a trend trade. I don't like to go.
Order filled.
All right, so we are long now. I'm going to put a stop downhill here,
Order submitted.
and we're going to put a target at that level.
Order submitted.
Again, not my favorite trade, but it works at times, no doubt. We have net delta here on the bottom indicator that shows a little bit of mixed emotion here. um, Recently, the positive histos show that cumulative net delta is up. It's an up time where people are buying more than selling. Um, This bar, this red bar, is what we call, well, no, that was a good trend. Almost was a flush reversal, I was going to say, but definitely not. So we'll see. Hmm. Well, let's see. We're right in the middle of that area of liquidity. So the liquidity is right here. Hmm. Liquidity is right in this area. There's a lot of selling going on there. And we'll see how the market reacts. This is a moment of truth for the market here. Obviously, price came up into this area and sellers just stepped in. So this is an area where there's a lot of liquidity. And look, we did hit going south a little bit. See if that 100 period holds. 5 minutes before the open too, so we might get a little more volatility. Net delta is still positive, slightly positive. So there is a little bit more buyer aggression. Historical tendency is positive, which is a good sign. See this big positive histogram, this big green histo. Hmm. So trend trades are kind of secondary uh, trades. They're not my primary go-to trades. So I'm going to go very, very light, very light. And usually you want a stronger trend. I mean, this was an area of flatness, not much going on here. It it's proving difficult. Hmm. Samson, what's up? How are you? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I'm so glad you stopped by. That's cool, man. How's life treating you? I had a good gold trade this morning, my friend. Yeah, Waldo, actually almost all the time I've got the full, the full risk, and I target 62% of that full risk. So I'm looking at 2/3 of the risk. Cool, Samson. Very good. So yeah, I do have a reward to risk that's inverted in it initially. Now that is compensated a little bit when I have runners. I'll look at the runners, like I mentioned earlier, runners could
Order
hit
filled.
much different distances. So
Order canceled.
the reward to risk is, the initial reward to risk is 62%. Well, that one didn't work out. That's all right. Let's see what else is going on. So this is the MES. The NQ is a similar story. Again, we're looking for overbought, oversold. That's my primary trade. When we're diddling in the middle here, when we're kind of messing around, there's not much. Well, my gold trade was nice, but it could have been a lot nicer. Look at that move. Man, I got in here, got out 2 contracts here and here. I was targeting this level Samson up here, this fib level. I never quite got it. Just a couple ticks short, and it hit my trail stop right there. I think I should probably trail it below the 100 because the 100 is a significant, seems to be a significant move. Yeah, it would have been really nice. Nicer had I not gotten stopped out, but you know what? I made money on the trade, so I'm happy. It was just this little push of delta. Some aggression came in, drove it right to the 100. So Waldo, this is an example of a trend trade that worked out. Again, I looked at this blue dot right here and I bought it right off of that level. Oh, 9:30 guys. The open is among us. And everybody is selling here at the open. Now I'm looking for that oversold condition. I want to get down here. This is where things get interesting. Actually, it's down here right now. And up here. So it shows us that our volatility. I just did a sweep. Again, I'm not interested unless we hit this level down here or this level up here. That's where I want to look at. This last 2 lines here, that shows the block, the oversold level for this market. This is the Dow. This is the initial level, which I call the 90-10 level, and then this is the 100 level down here. Hmm. This is a daily chart of the NASDAQ. Just look at it daily. Kill this guy. I don't know, we're looking kind of toppy here to me. All right, that's silver. Silver is definitely had oversold. Nice little touch. This copper. I look at copper. This would have been a great position right here. I'll look at ags. Here's soybeans. Oil. This is soybean oil. Crude. This is just yesterday's high. So this dashed line is yesterday's high in the market. And gas is overbought, so we could be looking at an area of downward tendency. So that could be a good short opportunity. Heating oil is definitely overbought and going further. MCL, gold. All right, the equities have gone back to the 100. Gonna be trading mostly equities for now. Might do some crude trades. NASDAQ is moving toward oversold. There's the oversold level down here. Samson, how'd your trading go today? I'm glad I got out of that long in the MES. So we are hitting our fib levels on these moves downward. NASDAQ getting near oversold. You can ignore these older levels. These older levels were only valid during those times. So we're not oversold yet. This is only valid for this period of time. We're looking for it to hit down here now. NASDAQ is screaming downward. Silver coming near oversold. Copper. Again, we're flirting with yesterday's highs. Here is bean oil. Crude, again, we're bought against above overbought, above yesterday's high. Heating oil is sitting up there yesterday's high with negative delta. Micro Bitcoin, if you're trading micro Bitcoin, we do have a valid buy signal right now. And I'm going to go in micro Bitcoin. I'm going to do 5 contracts on a retrace down to here.
Order submitted.
The tendency is a little negative, so, but then it gets positive. So we're in sort of a no man's land on the tendency. Again, this is MBT. This is micro Bitcoin. It's only 50 cents a tick. I'll put a sell stop
Order
down
submitted.
here. Let's see. Well, we hit target already. We missed it. Let's see if it comes back. Just didn't look at it in time, guys. Here's Solana. Here's a market I like to look at. It's just been down, down, down all morning. Yeah, looks like this one got away from us.
Order canceled.
I'll cancel it out.
Order canceled.
All right, well, the initial selling is apparently done in the equities. That's all right. We didn't hit our oversold levels. That's all right. I am going to be patient today. Today is the day where I trade the rules. I'm tired of trading other rules that just didn't work. So I'm sticking to the lion method. Monday was a bad day, guys. I lost like 3R in one day. That's not good for me. So yeah, I mean, I would need some coding. I'll do some coding to get it to work in Market Analyzer. I don't like Ninja's Market Analyzer. It has, uh, I don't know, it's laggy and I don't think it processes, it works correctly. What I will do is I'll do an audio signal on overbought, oversold. So if it's on chart, it'll, it'll, say overbought, copper overbought or something. Look at that. The 100 proved to be some resistance on that up move. Let's keep an eye on this. If it retraces here and then we see net delta still positive, we could go long. We're coming into a more stronger down pressure historically. We'll see. I'm not eager to get in a trade that's not perfect. I want perfect. Quality over quantity, guys. Quality over quantity. Oh, let's take a look at news too. All right, Wednesday the 18th, 10 o'clock, we have Atlanta Fed business inflation. Got petroleum report in less than an hour. Got a couple of announcements for notes and bills. I'll be done before these occur, so I'm trading till 11 today. So really, petroleum status report's the only one that's going to be on my radar. Looking for quality trades, guys. Right now, the market is undecided. I've seen this in the morning, last couple of mornings. It's just in the middle of no man's land. I want markets that are overbought or oversold. All right, wow. NG. And this could be a good trade, y'all. I'm going to go short
Order
one
submitted.
contract in nat gas. So you see the reasoning here.
Order submitted.
Hmm. Got a strong negative move pressure here and tendency, I guess is the word. Got good net delta being negative. I want to hit that level though.
Order filled.
All right, so we are short, guys. Huh, not showing it, but I've had weird things with nat gas, not showing entries.
Order submitted.
Very weird things. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't show my position in that gas. Ninja. Ninja's freaking out for some reason. I'm going to be conservative. I'm just going to target my fib level there. That delta is turning positive. Yeah, it disappeared. I've had that happen with nat gas lately. I don't know why. My accounts tab shows that I am short. So I'm going to treat this like a real trade. Right now I'm at break even. There we go. Another push downward. We'll be happy. Yeah, my accounts tab shows I am positive 40 bucks right now. So we were overbought. You can see we're in the yellow dot area. We hit our breakdown and we're just targeting that level. Very simple trade. Yeah, I mean, it's in my accounts tab in Ninja. So I am short. One more push down and we'll be happy camper here. Again, we're just scalping this. We're not holding. We're just scalping. We're not here for a long time. If it can't break down through this level, guys, then I'm going to be exiting this trade. I'm up 40 bucks right now.
Order filled.
All right, it hit.
Order canceled.
Do I not have my... I see I have markers turned on. Well, all I know is that my P&L is showing we hit it, so that was a good one. We went short right here, exited right there, $70. Let me check that out. Execution. Hmm. Very weird. I don't know. Very weird. Shows in my, it doesn't show an execution though. I like trading nat gas, but it has given me these weird problems in the last couple of days, so I'm not excited about that. We'll see. We'll see how it settles out. That's right, Waldo. Let's go. The old F5. All right. Well, see, we scalped it. Simple, simple, simple. Equities are just confused. This is the Dow, the Russell, MES, NASDAQ. Just didn't hit our oversold. That's all right. Let it do what it's going to do. Oh, copper is oversold, guys. Copper, if you trade copper. So interesting tendency here, guys, is positive. Look at that. So a lot of pressure historically to be above the 100. We're oversold with a lot of distance to the 100. So this gives us opportunity against, we're kind of divergent, right? We're deeply against the 100 and yet we're typically above the 100. So we have a tendency, a divergence here. Net delta is big positive on that bar. That was a huge positive delta. This could be a good trade if you've got the margin for it. Control E on the chart to see your trade. Control E. I don't know if that works for me. Hmm. I don't know, Nat Gas. I like that trade. Let's see if my Apex account shows it here. Let me do a break on that, guys. Hold on a second. Gonna open up our trader. And we'll see if it shows a trade occurred. I had this problem the other day with Nat Gas trade, but it did show up as an actual trade. Give me a minute while I open up my Apex account here. All right, where is? Yeah, I think it actually was. Yeah, it's showing up in my broker, so I'm good. Just Ninja is not a problem. Anyway, we're back. We're back. So it was a valid trade. So I'm up on that trade. Ninja just had a problem with it. So we never hit overbought on the gold, so this is not a valid trade. Not overbought, not a trade yet. I like this setup. Copper's pushing lower on rising, a divergent here on the net delta histo. Lower price, higher net delta. So this would be a good area to consider buying in copper. Let me put in that level. So if we get up to this level, now the risk is 237.50 on that trade, maybe 250. So that's where I would put my initial risk. See that? Down at the bottom of the swing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not into, I really blew my account. Severely damaged it on Monday, so I'm being very, very conservative. Super conservative. Not gonna make the mistakes I did on Monday. Wow, MES is coming in strong. MES, so look at this. So the lime green color just means that we've exceeded some historical levels on the move. Same thing with the magenta levels. That means we just pushed through these bands. Again, I want to see overbought oversold. I'm not gonna chase a market. All right, almost overbought in the Russell. We gotta hit this level. We start seeing yellow dots when it's overbought. Tendency is up, so a little caution if I do go short. I want to make sure it's for the right reasons. Gold. It's selling off into an area where it's typically sold off before, so that's interesting. Let's see where This is bean oil. I'm going to switch this over to one of my other favorite markets, which is live cattle. Live cattle is right here. So that's today's action. Not much going on. This is yesterday's low. Overbought, oversold is down here. We're not there yet. Let me switch over to feeder cattle. We're oversold in feeder. Oversold. Yeah, we are oversold in feeder cattle. That could be a very thin market. So another one is lean hogs here, the HE market. Overbought is up here. Nothing going on in lean hogs. Go back to bean oil here. So here's an example. We did hit in bean oil overbought. I wouldn't have shorted here, although it certainly was a winner because I was so close to the 100. But you know what? That's certainly crushed it. We're almost oversold. Would have been a good win, but not part of the rules of the system. Rude. I think I talked about having this as a sell level, didn't I? This would have been a good short. So it's a little swing right here, and that definitely hit target. I did mention that, Waldo, didn't I? Wasn't I looking at this chart when you and I were talking about this possible trade? Yeah, would have been sweet. Boom, right down to the 100. All right, guys, I'm up today. I'm up. I'm happy. Look at that. We hit our fib level. Market is moving up in nat gas. Got in, got out. That's all right with me. 70 bucks is a good. Well, the Russell is still overbought. Moved out of it though. We had pushed downward. I'll be looking for one of my dots, my swing dots. Again, not looking to get risky. I'm keeping my risk down. I'd also follow equities, but I'm not connected. Let's see if they'll let me connect. This is the IWM. It is the ETF for the Russell. Let's see how it looked today. So I only get data starting at 9:30. That's where the session line is. So not much going on here. Amazon. Let's switch to Tesla. Here's Tesla. Again, we're not overbought, oversold yet. All right, back to the Dow. Still overbought in Russell. Bean oil is retracing, but we did not hit oversold. Crude. Definitely bounced off that 100. So the tendency for crude here, guys, was negative. We were overbought. Man, I really wish I would have watched that trade. Then we have a positive area here for a short while. It is positive, but if these histos aren't very big, then we don't have a clear direction, or it waffles. It hits the 100, maybe it lingers. We're looking for areas that are prolonged green or magenta. There's gold. Dow. Here's the Russell. All right, well, we're coming out of that overbought area. Although tendency is up. Being picky. Being very picky. Being picky, guys. Oh, look at that. I put this buy level in, right, on copper, and we certainly hit it right there. I would have been up. This was a $150 gain right there. It's all right. Hmm. What was our? I think our risk was about 250 here. Yeah, 250 in risk. It's all right. I don't want to do any crazy trade. Now there's a $112 risk down to that swing. A lot of selling coming in copper. Now, one thing too. But here's interesting, guys. You see this swing from the low up until my entry point would have taken us right out at that tick. You see that? From the bottom of the swing to my entry point, 61% is right at that tick. Very interesting. Very interesting. So that would have been our first target. Copper doesn't fill very easy, so you need to trade through that level. I can't say I would actually have gotten out at that level, but that would have been the target. Sellers are coming in hard here. One thing I like too is a double touch of the oversold or overbought levels is significant. So I like the double touch, and when it gets out of the second touch is usually a momentum has run its course. All right, where are we at with our equities? Yeah, the Russell did sell off, but I'm not getting a clear sell dot. Hey, bean oil. Nothing overbought, oversold yet. Crude oil, ooh, taking a tumble. Nat gas, fine, you go up. I don't care. I'm out of you. Oh, heating oil. Oh, that's a big market, guys. This could have been a sell level. That's a lot of money in heating oil. This one certainly could have been a sell level. The only reason why it didn't print a dot is because I have a four swing. These dots are based on 4 bar swing. It's got to have 4 bars before it and 4 bars after it. And there was only 2 bars before it, and there was a couple of bars after it. So this would have been a good sell level. If we hit overbought, that's a big move. What is this in dollars? This is $1,200 tumble in heating oil and more. Look at that thing go. Crude. Our inventories are with the 10 o'clock. Yeah, 10:30. 10 o'clock with the Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations. 10:30 is petroleum status, so certainly oversold. And gas is moving lower. NBT, guys, that was a good trade. Could have even gotten in on a retrace, but that's all right. That is all right. I got no problem. All right, here's crude. That gas. That's a big move in heating oil. Monster. I should have got gutsy and gone short just when it hit that level. I had net delta coming in negative. On HG, will I take the HG trade? Ooh, wow. What's our risk on here? 37. I really am feeling very risk averse, guys. I like this tendency. I like being so strongly positive. I would target the 100, which is a $287 target. What would my risk be if I got in like right here? $175 if I bought at this level. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna trade this one. What would you do, Waldo? Mm. You're long on the MES, all right. Well, you got good delta. You've got good tendency here. Are you going to target 6062 or 67. Well, the Russell, last time we saw it was down here. Put a nice little top in. So higher prices, you can see that, but lower cumulative delta. So a little divergence here. Tendency is up, but also tendency is going to start sloping down. So we're weakening in our tendency. A little bit of the same picture with ES. So higher prices, sloping down, a little bit divergence in our tendency. I don't know, a little mixed signal for me. This would be a market I would consider going long. So we rejected the zero level, we've got tendency up, and we've got a big distance to overbought. I'm going to go and buy one here.
Order submitted.
And I'm going to put a stop down here.
Order submitted.
This is the NASDAQ.
Order filled.
I am long now on the NASI. And let's put an OCO order. I'm just going to go to here.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order canceled.
What's this risk? $52 risk. So I'm shooting for $70 profit. And I don't like it already. Hmm. I like it already. Not sure what you're asking. Yeah, I don't like this one already. Delta seems to have dropped. Now we need some buyers to show up. Bring in the buyers. All right, there we go. So they listen to me. MES. So overbought in Russell. Overbought. Oh, risk reward. You like the ruler that I've got? I customized this ruler. It contains more information than the standard ruler. It shows the instrument's dollar value per tick. It calculates the number of bars between these 2 points. It shows the amount of time between those 2 points. It shows the Y value in ticks. It shows the value then translated into money, equity. It shows the percent change, but also, interesting, it shows the volume between those 2 points. So it's a very custom ruler. Do you want that one? Yeah, I can send it to you. Send me your send an email to me and I'll give you a free copy. Yeah, I love that ruler. It gives me a lot more info than the standard one. Hmm. Yeah, I'll send you a copy. Just drop me an email. Bless you, my friend. God bless you. He loves you. God loves you. And he sent his son to die for us sinners. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Amen to that. I was an atheist for 27 years, and then I came to Christ 1995, 30 years ago. And if I had 1,000 lives to live, I'd give each and every one of them to Jesus Christ, because he is worthy. All right. Well, there we go. You got to be looking good on your MES, huh? All right. I'm going to move this to break even. Plus, one of my rules is once a bar closes in profit, I like to move my stop to break even. So this is a trade that pretty much I can't lose on, right? 10, 15, and 14. What are you targeting, Waldo? Where is your exit? We're already at that fib level right now. Hmm. Tell you what, I'm gonna target that structure level. 6064. Oh, my ninja just froze. All right, we're back. 6064, brother. All right, well, I hope you hit it. I think you'll get it on this push. There we go, there we go. Come on. Ooh, playing with us. Playing with you, my friend. I don't like this move, this pattern in the NASDAQ. Yeah. I mean, the fib is at 6062 and 3/4. I think I'm going to jump out of my Nazi trade if I can get just up a little bit more. And looking weak. All right. You're in. You hit your target? You get out? Or are you still in? Mm. Yes. Good job, buddy. You and I are here to beat this thing, my friend. We're going to beat this market. We are the winners. Ring the bell. All right. What do you think I should do here? Am I holding too far? Yeah, I'm going to get out at that level. You and I are winners, Waldo. They say that you don't have to, what is it? You don't have to, what is that? Oh, look at that. Forgot the quote. I had a good quote yesterday. You don't have to be a winner to start, but you do have to start to be a winner. That's what it was. You don't have to be a winner to start, but you do have to start to be a winner. You've started. You've started. Nice. That's awesome, brother. Yeah, look at that thing. Let's see if I hit my level. Yeah. Oh, the markets are fun when you're a winner, isn't it? It's like candy from a baby, right? Oh, Lord, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us a new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead and into an inheritance that can never perish or spoil or fade, which is kept in heaven for you. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer.
Order filled.
Yes! Brother, I got my target. And I don't like trend trades. And I don't like trend trades. Look what happened. Oh, my ninja locked up. Hold on. Tell you what, too, Waldo, I'm going to give you this indicator. This green box over here is called the auto summarize P&L. Do you want that? I can give that to you with the ruler. So what this does is just simple. It calculates if you draw a ruler and you set its color to lime green, it'll count that as a winning trade. So it'll count up the ticks that you've got, and it'll do, if it's not green, it'll make it, for instance, if it was red, then it counts it as a loss. So it just gives you a little way to keep track of trades. Yeah. And it comes with the ruler too. So you get the ruler plus this auto summarize P&L. My gift to you, my friend. Thank you for joining me today. We are winners. Ooh, look at that, MES. All right, buddy. God bless you. Have a good day. Gold is oversold. Cool. See you later, bud. Gold is oversold. Silver oversold. Ooh, big time. Wow. We're coming into that 10:30 announcement, right, of petroleum. Somebody didn't like the Atlanta Fed inflationary announcement. Must be a low inflation, which is good for Trump, right? But gold is tumbling. Gold is oversold. Copper would have worked. I don't know. It's a little risky. Bean oil's oversold. Just tipped his toe into the oversold level. Crude oil, definitely oversold. No clear buy signal on it yet. Natural gas, nice trade short. Heating oil oversold along with crude. Oh, that MBT long would have been a nice trade. Rail to rail, would have gone oversold to overbought. All right, switch it up here for some music. 10:24. Let us see how crude reacts to the petroleum report this beautiful Wednesday, June 18th. Let's see how that works out. We are overcomers with the lion method and following the rules, brother. Following the rules. Stay within the lines. Well, there was a beautiful NASDAQ trend trade. So trend trade again, folks. I'm looking to buy on a break above these levels, swing levels, when tendency is up. As you can see, this green histogram is our tendency. What that means is a tendency for this market is to be above the 100, which is this line, the 100 period moving average between, well, basically up until this time, so 1128. So I'm looking to be a buyer. What tendency is just the last 7 days. Where is the market at this time of day for the last 7 days? Tendency for this market is to be above the 100. So that's just historical data. That's why we can plot it in the future, because I know what history was in the recent past. All right, bean oil. Crude, 3 minutes until this crude report comes out. Three minutes till crude inventories is out. Copper is an interesting trade, but I just don't want to risk it right now. Silver is oversold. Gold coming out of oversold. You know, isn't that interesting? So tendency again, folks. You can see the green area here. So that tells, historically, the market has tended to be above the 100 between all the way over here, which is 6 in the morning Eastern time until 9:52 Eastern time. Then starting at 9:52 Eastern time, the market has tended to be below, I mean, really all the way through here, roughly 12:11. And look what happened. Nice. We had a reversal almost at the same area. So markets don't repeat themselves, but they do rhyme, right? They don't repeat, but they do rhyme. Goodness me, sleepy. I wake up. I need another cup of coffee. 10:29 here, guys. And gals, if gals are here, God bless you. Thank you for joining me and the Overcomer channel. I should call this the Overcomer channel. You're an overcomer. Yeah, I do burst out in song every now and then. I do sing a little bit. I will sing of your love forever. All right, almost 10:30. Almost 10:30, and there it is, 10:30. What will it do? What will it do? What will it do, all y'all? Well, I like to be a buyer already, but let's hold for a little bit. Let's hold. And gas is going up a little, heating oil. Let's see what crude is gonna do. Crude will do. What will crude do? That delta. Generally just starting to get positive just a little bit. Again, this histo is showing that cumulative net delta line versus its, I think I've got a 7-period moving average. Yeah, I don't want to turn it on. So we are currently at the moving average of the cumulative delta. Again, it's not shown. The cumulative line versus its average is not shown, but it's represented by the histogram as a difference between those two. Waiting for a good buy setup here, folks. I am not going to be a risky trader today. Today is not the day to be risky. Today is the day to be conservative. I'm not one of those goofballs like I was on Monday. I'm not gonna do it. I am not gonna do it. I'm not an idiot. Okay, gold has recovered nicely. Silver is on its way up. Copper is going up. It would have been a good trade, guys. I blew it. That was the spot to buy. Okay, you know what? Not the first time I blew it. Not the first time I missed a good trade. This is heating oil. It's a big contract. Nobody wants to blow their brains out on a big contract. This was a good spot right here. I missed too. Tendency is down. A good little swing level, put right in here and go short right at that bar. I don't always wait for the magenta dot. I'll look for this little structure pattern here. We have a little swing. Look at that, price retraced right to that swing and did go down. Silver. Gold is at the 100 MA. YM is overbought. Russell is overbought decidedly. MES is just flirting with the overbought. NASDAQ has not hit overbought yet. As you can see, tendency for copper is up. Net gas. We got crude here. This is going to be a buy level. Tendency is just mixed. Not very excited about that. Alright. Crude is moving to new lows. Look at that. Gold, NYM. Crude is pushing to new lows here, almost at the bottom of the day. Glad you joined me today, folks. Really, I'm so blessed and thankful. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for YouTube giving me a little chance to talk and show the world what I'm doing. Thanks, YouTube. Crude is at new lows, guys. Oversold past its historical low. No, I'm not chasing it. I'm going to be waiting for a valid setup, guys. I'm not chasing it. Oh, man. I'm not that guy who's chasing things. You got the wrong guy. Now this is a good setup. Short. MES is looking to go short here. Russell's finally curving a little lower. Big move up in Russell. Look at that thing. Can't put the US stock market down. Can't do it. HG, CL. All right. Not much yet, guys. All right, well, crude hit right down here is the full move. So this is historical low. So in the last 7 days, crude never got further away than this from the 100. And just now, it moved to a few ticks past that. So we have a new extreme level, I guess you call it. I call it the 100 level. Still looking for a reason to go long. I don't have one yet. Switch over to live cattle. My little floater chart here. All right. Never hit overbought, oversold yet. What interesting market can we hop on? Let's check out something like wheat. This is wheat. Wheat. Buyers have come in and grabbing the wheat market. Wheat is overbought. I'm going to switch this to a 200 MA. $200 MA. Look at that. Just hit the overbought this morning. No, this is yesterday. Again, this is the wheat market. I'm just kind of, I don't know, spending some time somewhere else. Let's have a look. Oh, you know what? I haven't looked at the 6E in a long time. Let's bring that up. That's a good market to look at. Just almost oversold right at the 10:04 time here. There we go. Clean it up a little. 6E, right. 2-minute chart of the 6E. And here's a valid buy set up in the 6E right there. That would have been a stop out. That would have been a stop. So some strong downward pressure in the 6E. All right, let's move to 6J. Let's see how the Japanese yen future. Well, we are not hitting any overbought, oversold. There was one little touch yesterday. Oversold. Look at that. We just came out of that level. There's a valid buy right here. This is on the 13th. Not much else though. Kind of quiet. Just looking for overbought, oversold. That's my first go-to. One market I don't look at often. Let's see what the UB does. UB can be a little chunky. There's a one-tick trade. Technically was a winner, but I don't know. There's a winner. I'm not finding interest rates to be so reliable with this method. And really, I think it's got to do with the fact that the swing points are not so crisp and clear. It's a little muddled. Well, there's a win here. There's a win here. There's a win there. It's a little early in the day. But this is a loser, right? This is a loss right there. This would have been a winner. This one was a winner. So there's two winners here. There's two losses here. These would have been winners too. So, I mean, there are some sprinkled in there. But it's a big contract too. Take a look at the 10-year notes. That was a lose. Well, I wouldn't have taken it. It's just such a tiny. Let's go to a 5-minute chart here. Yeah, that would have been a loss. I don't like that one. This is probably a winner. Hard to tell. I don't see it hitting the overbought, oversold much. There's a winner. These are losers. Alright, let's get back. Now this is the LE on a 5-minute chart. I don't do that very often. Go to a 2-minute. Yeah, not much really, not much. Alright, where's crude oil here? Crude oil. So we do have a buy level there. This could be a buy level, guys. We're coming into an area where the tendency is negative, but we're already negative, so It's not like a new idea. Considering buying here. I'm gonna buy level in right if we come back down to that level, and I'm gonna be a very tight stop. Super tight stop. This is only a $24 stop, but I would target the 100 if we get filled. Very tight stop. Delta is turning up. Very tight. Very tight stop. Definitely could go against this in a flick. No time at all.
Order filled.
All right, we're long.
Order submitted.
We're long and crude on a really tight stop here, guys. Easily be a disaster. Very easily. We had some inflation news come out at 10, and we had the inventory for crude report at 10:30. So it's probably a little confused. Just a little uncertain. That delta is kind of neutral here. Very low risk. I am not risking a lot. Low risk is the way to go. Make any money today? Yeah, I think so. We made some money. Hey, open invite too, if you're listening, and you do want my ruler and my auto summarized P&L, just email me. I'm happy to send it to you. It's available. So again, the ruler, the auto summarized P&L is this green box in the top left, and it just basically what it does is it adds up the rulers that you might draw on a chart. So this ruler is 62 ticks ruler. And if I change the ruler color to lime, it treats it as a winning trade. Let me hit the refresh here. So it treats it as a 62 tick winner. So it's a very simple way to add up your winners and losers. If you change the ruler to red, you'll see that it'll change this now. It counts it as a loss. So this would have been a short trade. It went in here and exited there, or whatever. It just tells you it was a losing trade. That's how you define it. So it's a very simple way to calculate your wins and losses. Keep track of them. It's very simple. But I like to use it. Now the ruler you get with that too. Yes, you do get the ruler. Again, it shows you the contract value per tick. So if you ever forget what it is, it shows it right off the top. Number of bars between those two entry points, time between those 2 points, and the value, of course, in ticks. So the Y, the distance, the price in ticks, 99 tick distance. So $99 in equity. It shows you the percentage as a percentage of the close price, 1.38%. And yes, it does even show the volume between the end of this bar and the end of that bar. So you get a little picture of volume. So that is the custom ruler you get. And what it looks like when you go into your drawing tools. This is it, ruler $sign. That's what it's going to show up as, a ruler $sign. Well, this is a boring trade if I ever saw one. We're not doing much here. Tell you what I will do, I'm not going to risk that much. I'm going to cut my wrist right to there, guys. That's tight. That's a 9 tick risk, a $9 risk. All right, well, it's moving my way. Moving my way. You can move north. I like going north. I should have created 1,000 contracts. I would have been up $16,000. Yeah. I want to meet a trader that trades, 100 full-size CL contracts at a time. $100,000 barrels of oil being traded. I know it happens. I know it happens. All right. It's waking up. It's waking up. It's moving up. Waking up and moving up. I got my stop to break even +1, +3. Crude behaves and moves to the 100 period average. I'm sitting pretty. $72 target. Could happen. Could happen. 10:56, folks. I'm going to be with you until 11. So if you haven't chatted with me yet, I would love to hear from you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Never thought I would say this, but smash that like button. Smash the notification bell. Smash the subscribe. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. We're just giving a little sweep here. Oh, you guys want, I know what you want. You want a little bit of Bible verse for the closing of the session. Oh, what is that verse? search for? Hebrews, that's it. Thank you. One of the books of the New Testament that I find challenging, and I have some disagreements with it, gotta be honest with you, is Hebrews in chapter 10, but I'm going to read for you. Gotta find a good translation here. I will read out of the let's read out the NIV. That's a good classic one. All right, so this is Hebrews 10:39. Let's see. Yeah, 10:39. I want to leave you with this good word. But we do not belong to those who shrink back and are destroyed, but to those who have faith and are saved. So 10:39 of the book of Hebrews, guys. Coming in on 11 o'clock. I am just blessed and honored to have been your trading mentor here today. Hopefully you made some money. I know I did. And I'm in a winning trade right now. We're going to let this thing run. See if we can hit our target. Maybe not. Maybe we won't. But we are in profit and we're locked in. And that's good. Hebrews 10:39. We are not those who shrink back and are destroyed, but those who pursue, go forward, and have faith. Oh, we're going to get tapped. Well, we had some money out of that trade.
Order canceled.
We got like 2 ticks, I think. $2. Commissions of $1. Well, you know what? This is how it goes. This is trading. The crude market is still confused. Let's see what. Let's just run around. Yeah, that was a trade that got away. Oversold. We never really got a clear buy signal down here. I would have gotten in right in that area, but would have been a nice trade. Silver. That's a tough market. Gold oversold right into the 100. All right. Well, it's looking like a downturn in equity in the YM. Looks like Russell is still going high. The MES is weakening. Came out of overbought. Yeah, I don't know. It's wishy-washy here, folks. It is wishy-washy. Here's the ETF on the Russell. It's also not so exciting. Here's Tesla. Basically net selling, but still moving up. All right, people. Thanks again. Hope you made some money with me. I'm up $183, so that's almost, well, it's almost, well, it's past half hour, so happy with that. Had a lot of winners today. Hope you had some with me. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday, the 19th of June. It's been great to have you here. God bless you, and I wish you good things in